Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's tips and tricks. Looks like we have several people starting to pile in here, so that's great. It's the first tips and tricks of the year, and for the first one, we'll actually be looking back at the last 6 months. So, you're always told not to look into the, worry about the past, but here at Aptivata, we've made some changes that I feel like are important to reiterate. So hopefully you find that valuable as well. Before we get started, let me just introduce myself. My name is Tim Sessions. I'm the Director of Client Services. On the call with me, working in the background, we have Leilani Villanova. She will be manning the chat. She'll also be manning the question and answer area. So if you can find on your dashboard the Q&A option, please direct your questions there. What that does is it allows us to either view those publicly and answer them, or if there's a question that Leilani wants to take a stab at in text form, she can answer them there as well. So rather than asking them in the chat, then please ask those in the Q&A section. A lot of times when questions are asked in the chat, everybody on the call doesn't get to see those. So, all right, looks like we have several people in here already. So let's go ahead and get started with our agenda. First things first, let's get you guys entered into our $100 giveaway. So we give away $100 to Amazon, and you will see that link pop up shortly from Leilani in the chat. So be sure to take the time to fill that out and enter the giveaway. There we go. And she'll be posting that throughout the webinar for a chance to win $100 to Amazon. And of course, we announce that at the end of the webinar, so you must be present to win. Also, at the end of the webinar, we throw out a quick survey. We love to know how we're doing, how to make these better. There's an area for you to give some quick feedback. So if you would please take the time to answer that survey, that'll set us on the right trajectory for 2022. We'll also be discussing real quick some upcoming national promotions. And then the meat of the webinar is updates that we made in Q3 and Q4 that I just want to highlight moving into 2022. This might help with some of the direction that you take your promotions. Some of this might be a recap or a refresh. Others, this might be the first time you're hearing about it. So feel free to come up with any questions that you have during this call. They'll either be answered by myself or Leilani in the Q&A section. So again, we'll keep an eye out for those. So let's just jump right into it. We have some upcoming national promotions. Now, something that I want to highlight here before we jump into announcing them, you may be part of a group or an organization that does not participate in our pricing. The national promotions are still available for you to run. However, we would have to take a look at if the pricing that we offer would be available to those who participate in the version of the promotion on your page. So keep that in mind. We understand that there's some exceptions, there's some legal rules and legalities that might prevent you from participating in the national prize, but the promotions are still available to run. The nice thing about our national promotions is that you can tie in local sponsorship to them. That's the whole reason why we run these, is to give you plug and play opportunities to run the promotion. All right, so the first one I want to talk about, which is right around the corner, is basketball mayhem. Also known as March Madness, but since that is a term that we can't use, we call it basketball mayhem. And Aptivata offers the prize for a $1 million perfect bracket. So with basketball mayhem, it's your typical bracket challenge where you go in, fill out your 64 teams, and you have a chance at that $1 million prize. Again, there is a leaderboard, so local pricing is available to make sure that you reward those people who may get first, second, third place in your local areas. So sponsorships to this are highly encouraged. Here's some more details about it here. So the perfect college basketball playoff bracket wins 1 million. And I left the text in from our idea studio, but it says use the form below to register. Just ignore that sentence. Really what's important are the run dates. It's live from March 13th to April 4th. The sign up for that for all of you to participate is March 9th. And we provide the contest execution, the $1 million prize, rules, all applicable winner paperwork and tax information, and generic images. So starting from selection Sunday to the first round of the tournament, people can go in and can build out their accounts. They can begin to make their picks. Something to note there, and something to note on that is that the 4 play-in games or the 2 play-in games for that pre-first round are not part of the promotion. So once, they're not part of the brackets. So the whole 64 team matchup, that's when the promotion starts. So the next one upcoming is the Mother's Day contest. So we're giving out $2,000 for mom. Again, you can tie in local sponsors with that. The run dates of that are from April 11th to May 4th, and the signups for you to get that added to your accounts is April 6th, 2022. Looks like we got a note that some people are unable to enter the promotion. Feel free to mention that in the chat if that's the case. The link should direct to a live version of the promotion. So I was just noticing that in the chat there. Aptivata provides the $2,000 prize, the rules and the paperwork and tax information. But again, we strongly encourage you to tie in local sponsors. And then Father's Day, pretty much the same thing, but for dad, $2,000. And the run dates for that are May 16th to June 15th. So you can see we have a solid several months of national promotions that Aptivata is hosting on top of all the other promotions that you all create for your account. And then again, sign up closes May 11th through, or closes on May 11th. But all of this can be found at ideas.aptivata.com. So make sure that you have that page bookmarked. Okay, it looks like there is an issue with the link that is sent out for the contest. Let me stop the share real quick and get that taken care of, because I want you guys to be able to sign up for that, but also to pay attention to this promotion here. So let me take a look. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry for the hang up, everybody. Let's get you all taken care of. All right. Now it looks like there's no entries here. All right, I'm sorry, everybody. Let me see if I can get this right in the chat here. Let's do a link to, whoops, to everyone. My apologies. I know your guys' time is sensitive. Okay, checking the link. I clicked it and it looks like it's opening up to a live promotion. Now that should be in the chat there. Hopefully you guys can go ahead and get entered, and we'll jump back into the presentation here. All right, so again, I was left off at Idea Studio. So let's pull that up. So we have the Idea Studio, and it's ideas.aptivata.com. If you're looking for national promotions, we do have a national promotions tab up at the top here. That's going to ask you to sign in with your Aptivata account, and then you'll be able to view everything that we have available to you. Also, we have our national promotions calendar that you can download so you know what's upcoming for the entire year. Let's see if that chat worked. Okay. All right, we got a confirmation that's working. Again, apologies to everyone there. All right, let's jump into what we're here to talk about, and that is some updates that we made in Q3 and Q4 that are definitely applicable to what you have going on in 2022. The first thing that I want to announce, you may have seen something come across your pop-ups within the admin, is that we've updated our input paragraph field to allow for either 5,000 characters or 500 words. So we know a lot of you like to run those essay type promotions. Previously, it was capped off at 1,500 characters or 150 words, and that just wasn't quite enough to get people to fill out their full story, depending on what it was. You know, if it's a why do you think this person deserves this prize type promotion, or tell us about your experience type promotion, 1,500 words or 1,500 characters just wasn't quite enough to get that full story told. So we upped it to 5,000, and then also we upped the words to 500. So something to note on this is that it's an either or. So it's either 5,000 characters or 500 words, and you'll see the use limit type. There's a drop down there where you can select words or characters. So whichever one is selected, that's what determines the cap on the input paragraph. So that's great. Any questions there, feel free to ask those in the Q&A section, or feel free to follow up with us at support@aptivata.com. Another item that we added is the promotions recap email. So under more settings, when you're setting up a promotion, you'll see an area that says recap email. And in this example, you can see that you can actually enter multiple email addresses as long as they're comma separated. So Tim@aptivata.com, Ryan@aptivata.com will both get the promotion recap email. Now, what influences that to send is once the contest is done, you will receive that promotion recap email. Currently, we don't have a send promotion recap email button after the contest has ended. That is definitely something that we'd like to add down the road. If for some reason you forgot to add a recap email during the time that the promotion was live or upon setup, you can always make it live momentarily and then have it expire instantaneously, and it will send the recap that way as well. So the promotion recap email, this is great for yourself, but it's also something that you can tie in your sponsors' emails to as well. So if you have a sponsorship to a promotion and you want to send them directly the recap of the stats, you can throw in their email address as well. So that's a fairly recent, exciting update that we've made. One of the biggest updates that was actually a pretty big ask, but we were able to pull it off, is the dynamic time zone feature. I believe we did a whole tips and tricks on this. And if you are new around here, or this is one of your first tips and tricks, we actually have an archive of all of our tips and tricks and digital sales training at help.aptivata.com. So if you want to write that down. But this dynamic time zone is pretty cool in that if you have an account that has multiple stations tied to it, so let's say you're a radio station, or you're a market, or a company that has several companies nested beneath it, and you set up a syndicated promotion, then you'll be able to see this dynamic time zone feature. What it does is it will trigger the contest to go live at this time set in the schedule, but across the different time zones of your different companies or markets or accounts. So for example, if this contest starts at midnight on January 23rd Eastern time, then it won't start in Central time until midnight, again in Mountain time, and then also in Pacific time, and so on. So it respects the time zone that your account or the account that the contest is in is built on. Previously with syndication, let's say without the dynamic time zone, if this contest started at 12 a.m. on January 23rd Eastern time, then it would actually start at 10 p.m. Mountain time on the 22nd. So across the entire network, without dynamic time zone, the contests all start at the same time, but with dynamic time zone, it will trigger at that respective time zone in those respective markets or companies. Whoops, let me go back there. We've also added it to the keyword plus field as well. So if you're running a keyword contest across several different time zones, those keywords won't be live until that, again, for this example, 9 a.m. Eastern, then 9 a.m. Central hits in the contest in that time zone, then the keywords are live there, and so on. So there might be some use cases for this where you just want to roll out the contest at the same time in each time zone versus the same time across the entire United States or wherever you're located. So again, let us know if you have any questions about that. support@aptivada.com is the email. We brought our step 1 entry form out from the early 2000s to a more updated, cleaner look. Functionality wise, everything is the same. It just looks a lot cleaner and matches a lot more websites. We know there's various websites that our contests are hosted on, so we figured having a nice cleaner entry form is a nice update to the promotions that you all are running. So just kind of look back in history there as well. Okay, this might be a little small on your screens, but we got very granular with our permissions. So what we're looking at here is our admin permissions. So if you are somebody who has access to change the permissions of other admins within your account, you will see something like this. What's nice about this is we've now added permissions to all the different contests or types of promotions that you can run in your account. So in this example, I have access to do everything on all promotions, but if I only should have access to certain things on certain apps, then you have the ability to change out those permissions, and you can get very, very granular on what each individual has access to. This is great for, sales teams or marketing teams or promotion teams. Each one has different roles and should have different access to do things within Aptivada. Well, here's a way that you have control over that. There are also several different tabs across the top there, the user base, the admin management, and account management, where you can also set permissions on each one of those as well. A little side note, something that we get asked quite a bit is how to add or remove admins. If you have access to do that, you don't have to write into Aptivada to have an admin added or removed. You can just go ahead and click that remove button if you are an admin that has those privileges, and you can also add admins in the same account management screen as well. So if you ask us to add admins for you, we just redirect you to find the person on your team who has access to do that, because we don't want to be responsible on the Aptivada support side of adding someone who shouldn't be within the admin or should have admin capabilities. So keep that in mind. We do open up admin access to all of you to control. This one was a long time coming for me personally. I love confirmation emails, and we made them free. So previously they were $5 per 1,000 emails sent after 2,000 sends. So we did have a free buffer there, but we didn't want people waiting till 1,999 emails and having to worry about turning those off so you don't get any charge added to your invoicing. So we made them completely free. Now, we just ran the numbers recently, and our open rates are still between 80 and 90% on these confirmation emails. And if you're not familiar with confirmation emails, What it is after you have entered a contest, if you're a participant, then you have the ability to send out an email to that participant, and you all should have received one by entering the $100 Amazon gift card, where basically you can throw anything you want in there. More information about the sponsor, or a reminder to come back tomorrow and enter again, sponsorship information, anything of that nature you can add to your confirmation emails. And if you're not using them, if there's no restrictions on using this feature, I personally would say add confirmation emails to every single promotion that you create, every single sweepstakes, because it's just another touch to those people who have entered promotions. So yeah, feel free to add those confirmation emails. They're completely free, no additional charges to your accounts there. It looks like we did get a question directly to the hosts and panelists about Home for the Holidays prize winning. It's asking if it's 3,000 more than what it was in 2021. Leilani, I don't know if you want to ping our national promotions director on the side and try to get an answer for that. I didn't see the two different prices there, but if there's an increase to the pricing in 2022, that's because inflation, am I right? So maybe we did increase that. I haven't looked at it that closely. So Leilani, if you want to snag an answer there, that would be awesome. Okay, with that, we ran through some of the things that I wanted to highlight in 2022. Let's leave the time open for any questions. Feel free to throw those in the Q&A. It has been fairly quiet there, other than a few questions about winning $100. So with that, if you haven't yet, feel free to take the time to enter to win $100 to Amazon, and we will wrap this up. Again, sorry for the issue earlier earlier in the webinar here. So looks like either things are pretty clear, everyone's just eager for a chance to win that $100, which will actually be delivered to your inbox that you signed up for the contest with. So if you are the winner, keep an eye out for that. So we got a question. I didn't get the confirmation email for entering the chance to win $100. Sometimes those can go to spam or trash folders, unfortunately. So if you want to check your spam folder or your junk folder, feel free to look there. We can't guarantee 100% deliverability with the confirmation emails, but just double check, make sure it didn't end up there. But I do believe that email is turned on. In fact, we can double check here. Let's jump into the contest itself and double check that was turned on. So yep, send confirmation emails is turned on. You should receive something that looks similar to this. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen here. We're gonna give Leilani a chance to pick the winner. So we will go ahead and take some time to do that, and then I'll keep an eye out for any other questions that might come in here. So, all right. So Leilani will direct message me the winner. Again, you have to be present to win. Looks like we've had a couple of people drop off already, so hopefully their names don't get picked. Everyone else is waiting with bated breath here, and I am as well. So sorry, I've kind of sent Leilani all over the place working on stuff, so she's been awesome in the back there. So I'll go ahead and stop the recording while we wait